Hi guys, I'm going live. I only got 2 hours, so this is going to be a 2-hour video. I gotta go at 7:30 and it is 5:32 right now. So a little less than 2 hours, a couple minutes less. Let's check, make sure we got some sound. Testing 1, 2, 3. So, let me just get started with this one. It's only 25 seconds, but look at how crazy it's getting in Washington. They don't care for each other. Watch. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, it sounds good. Thanks, Midday. Testing 1, 2, 3. So you can tell there that Biden is not wanted. Kamala's wanted. He includes her. But Biden is just putting his hands, like, he gets all handsy though, you know? He's so handsy. Likes putting his hands on people. He's so creepy. I don't think Obama ever liked him. I think I heard people saying that he never liked him. But, you know, Biden just does whatever the master says. So, my significant other once told me, if you're at a party or a gathering or whatever, and someone just ignores you, and like you're standing there, you're talking to them, and another person walks up and they completely ignore you, and they're just talking with the other person now, just walk away. Don't stand there and be like the third wheel or whatever if you're being ignored. So you might want to include people around you. That's a way to fix that, because some people don't really know that they're doing it, but then there's other people like Obama, they know they're doing it. So yeah, just walk away. I mean, they can come find you and be like, hey, I noticed you were missing. Would you like to join our group, our conversation or whatever? All right, I'm sorry, I had to get a little bit better comfortable there. All right, so I'm going in the other direction. I'm not going down, I'm going up. If somebody wants to remind me that I'm going this direction now, because usually I go downward, but this was the very first thing that I posted since we last spoke. Okay, so let me make this come down like that. That'll be good. Maybe we could pull this over just a tad. Okay. So, Milley. You recognize this guy, General Milley? It says, we are now facing two global powers, China and Russia, each with significant military capabilities, both who intend to fundamentally change the rules-based current global order. Wait, doesn't make sense. China and Russia, each with significant military capabilities, both who intend to fundamentally change the rules based on the current, maybe on the current, they forgot to put on the current global order. We are entering a more unstable world with a significant international conflict. So they're just announcing it to us, you know, that Now we've got two big global powers, China and Russia, and, we're going into a new world order. Might be with them, it might be the other way, but either way, we're going into a global order, new world order. Did you see that guy? I got my little package today. Isn't this pretty of a box? You know what I'm talking about, midday. So the box is kind of small, but it's cool. I have to show it to you when I'm done here. Okay, so he's exposing the eugenicists. You might want to go over to infowars.com to find out more about that. Okay, this was a shooting, the 5th. Did I cover this before? At a manufacturing plant in South Carolina. It was a plastic manufacturer. I might have gone over that one. Shooter dead by self-inflicted gunshot wound. Active shooter reported at the plant approximately 10:30 EST. Police arrived to find 3 victims, 2 injured, 1 dead. Shooter was a former employee. 30 other employees safely escaped. So, I guess that was in South Carolina. I think those are both the same place. Okay, here's the other one of Biden saying, "My name is Joe Biden. I'm Barack Obama's vice president." Like, he doesn't even say I'm the president. I don't know if he's trying to be funny or if he's that lost. It's kind of like when he said, yeah, go Brandon, let's go Brandon. It's kind of like he doesn't know what he's saying or something.
Thank you very much. Please. My name is Joe Biden. I'm Barack Obama's vice president. And I'm Jill Biden's husband. By the way, the only reason Jill's not here today, she's working. She's teaching. And so I just want you to know that's why she's not here. Good.
It's like he's apologizing to Barack. That's weird, isn't it? That's why she's not here. Like, he had said something maybe that she's not there. Weird, huh? Okay, this is a, flashback. Poland, which, they might end up having war in Poland again. These are all people that had died in World War II. In April 1940, nearly 27,000 Poles were arrested by Russia, and they were killed with a shot to the head. The Russian Federation denied the crime and blamed it on the Nazis until 1990, when Gorbachev admitted Russia's responsibility for this. So they're showing like, yeah, they have a history. Oh, you know what? I need to go, here, I'll let you look at these pretty clouds while I go send a link. I mean, it's not so pretty, but if we were in Cat in the Hat, it might be pretty. If I saw that in my yard, if I was standing there and it was looking like that, I might faint. I went to Indiana a few years ago with my family, and the clouds were like really close to the ground. I'm just putting my video in the Discord. And I could let Sputsy know. Is Sputsy here yet? Spudsy, where are you? I have her in my list here somewhere. I don't want to take too much time here, but where's she at? There she is. Hi. Okay. There we go. Live chat. All right. Isn't that lovely? Those clouds? Looks like something from another world, doesn't it? Okay, let's see. Where was I? Played that one. Okay, this little boy. He's a third grader. He got shoved out of a wheelchair for dressing as a police officer for career day. Isn't that ridiculous? Poor little kid. I mean, I guess that's what you're going to get, though, if you become a police officer. You're going to get mistreated by people. They don't understand. Some people don't understand that they're just trying to help. All right, we got a Karen. We got a Karen man. Karen man. Watch this guy.
Don't do it! I'm resisting my water! Aaron! You're going to fucking go to jail! Please stop! My back is killing me! Please stop! Please stop! Please stop! Come on! I'm not getting over.
Now, I don't know if someone made fun of him for wearing a mask, but it says a guy freaks out over a guy coming close to him without a mask. So I guess there's still Karens out there just freaking out. Oh my gosh, they don't have a mask on! You know? So, okay, this one's pretty funny. This guy's lost. Okay, I was going to turn my volume down a little bit, because I know what happens. I play it too soft, and I don't turn it up loud enough. But that guy was extra loud, wasn't he? Okay, so here's Biden. Oh, by the way, Pelosi, watch what she does, because she's got COVID. All these people that are around Pelosi got COVID now. Okay, so there he is getting lost. And then here somebody did a meme. This was pretty funny. That's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, and then here is President Bush.
Mr. Speaker, Vice President Cheney, members of Congress, distinguished citizens and fellow citizens. Every year, by law and by custom, we meet here to threaten the world. The American flag stands for corporate scandals, recession, stock market declines, blackmail, terror, burning with hot irons, dripping acid on the skin, mutilation with electric drills. Mr. Speaker, Vice President Cheney,
That was funny.
members of Congress, distinguished citizens and fellow citizens. Every year, by law and by custom, we meet here to threaten the world.
To threaten the world. Okay, that was funny. Nice meme. Okay, here's Obama.
What you know now, do you wish like you had a third term?
Now this one's real, okay? This is real right here. This is not a meme.
I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man, or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats, looking through
Except
the
for that
stuff,
part.
and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with it. What you know now, do you wish
But
that you
he
had
really did say those things. It's funny with the... Anyway. Okay, so we got the Karen boy. Obama. John Travolta. Okay. Britain says heavy fighting, Russian airstrikes continue in Ukraine's Mariupol. Mariupol's a mess, guys. It's worse than that Bucha or whatever. Baruch or whatever it was called. Okay, now Shanghai, supposedly their COVID numbers are way up. Says Shanghai residents scrambled to secure food on Wednesday with supermarkets shut down and deliveries restricted amid another citywide COVID testing program. So the Shanghai people, they're freaking out right now. They're like, it's lockdown city again. All right, Major League Baseball said pitchers and catchers this season will be able to use a new wearable technology that allows them to communicate what pitch to throw next in an effort to minimize sign stealing and speed the pace of the play. So Major League Baseball, the pitchers and catchers are getting where the smart technology and get communication on what pitches to throw and stuff. Oh, my dad would be angry. He would be like, that's cheating. He would probably have a fit. Like, it's already, people make bets and things. It's already rigged. All right, now this lady right here in her hand, if you can see my little hand swirling around her hand, is a knife. She has a knife in her hand. Now, it doesn't really show her threatening anyone, but she definitely has a knife in her hand. She might be threatening someone. I don't know. People are losing it.
Drop the knife now.
I mean, who knows if she actually was threatening
Drop the
someone.
knife now.
Isn't that crazy? Well, she's got a backpack on, so that's probably not a very good sign. But he is really zapping her. And she goes head smack right into the stuff behind her. That was loud, wasn't it? Thump! Wow. It says at least she was wearing a mask. She was probably threatening someone that didn't have a mask. I'm just saying that's happened, like, a lot. Okay, the United States State Department has approved the potential sale of Taiwan of equipment, training, and other items to support the Patriot air defense system in a deal valued up to $95 million, the Pentagon said. So they're getting ready to sell a bunch of stuff to Taiwan, just like we gave a whole bunch of equipment and military, aid or whatever, tanks or trucks or, bombs, who knows what. We did it to Ukraine, gave them stuff. Now we're going to give stuff to Taiwan and watch China go in and watch Taiwan try to defend themselves with that little bit of equipment they got against China next. I'm just saying that's very good possibility. Now, I don't know if this is probably just not true, but this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Dubai real greeny looking, like shrubs. It's a desert. but they're trying to make it beautiful. I don't know why it's stuck there. There we go. Do you see that one that looks like a picture frame? They call that a door. It's like going from this side into that world. That's real. But I don't know about that HATTA or whatever on the hill. Right. Come on. Where'd it go? Right there. See that? Oh, I think I got a sneeze. Like in California, but I've noticed that what they've done with Dubai is they've taken a little bit from here, a little bit from there, you know, like our Ferris wheel. They'll take, you know, all sorts of ideas and kind of make a whole collage of it in Dubai. So, like, you know, if they would just let people be creative and let them get out of their little box, there could be some amazing stuff. It's just they squash everyone's creativity. It's like, it's just not what it's intended. Like one day we'll have all that. Don't worry, it's coming soon. Jesus is coming soon. Alright, I don't want to play this guy. It's like 3.5 minutes long. But I'll read it. The Canada Infrastructure Bank was created by the Trudeau government, and in the 5 years since its creation, it has failed to complete a single project. Last year, it paid out $5.7 million in short-term bonuses to its 79 employees. How is this appropriate? So they're misusing funds, or, you know, basically. Which all the governments are doing that. Oklahoma has passed a bill that would make it illegal to perform an abortion, except in medical emergencies. And I want to do a hand clap to Oklahoma. Good job, Oklahoma. That's exactly how it should be. Unless the mother's going to die or something like that, or the baby's, you know, going to die and the mother, you know, they're deciding who gets to live or whatever, because one of them's going to die. And if that happens, we would rather, maybe the mother wants the baby to live. Maybe the dad's in charge and he wants the mother to live. That's important. That's, you know, those are rules that I think should stay. If it's an emergency, fine. And then with abortion, don't make it hard. If it's a kid, you know, like a 15, 16-year-old girl, and she wants to have a life, and she's like, I can't have a life. It's, you know, it's going to take my whole life, you know, to have a baby at this young age. Then, you know, if the parents of the girl wants to raise it, or if just make it easy to give a adoption so that the baby can live. Like, abortion is so evil. It's just evil, in my opinion. Okay, Ivanka Trump is going to testify before the U.S. Capitol Riot Committee on Tuesday. So this was yesterday, and so that was Wednesday. So it's coming up on the 12th, I guess. She will be testifying about what she heard or saw on January 6, 2021, last January. Ha ha ha. Hey, really real. Yeah, guns don't kill people. Abortion clinics do. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Okay, this girl, she got the Bell's palsy from taking the you-know-what.
I wanted to talk about it responsibly. I don't want to discourage people from getting vaccines. And strangely, I don't really want to discourage them from getting this one.
Jennifer Gibson says she got the COVID vaccine because she wanted to see
Don't
life
worry,
in
your
Canada
face
get back to normal.
discouraged
But the
people.
Toronto woman wasn't prepared for what she saw when she looked in the mirror 2 weeks after getting her AstraZeneca shot.
In the morning, I was just looking and I thought, gosh, something is weird with my face. And I thought, whatever, I slept funny, no big deal. And by the end of the day, my husband even, I was asking him, like, this is weird now. And even with kindness, he had to say, yes, it was.
A phone consult with Gibson's doctor confirmed that she had developed Bell's palsy, a form of facial paralysis.
So honestly, when they said Bell's palsy, it's, devastating to look at half your face being paralyzed. But the little that I knew of Bell's palsy, I thought people don't die from that. So the fact that it wasn't something that I was going to not be around for my daughter
look at her
later,
pretty smile.
It's dealable. It sucks, but it's dealable.
Gibson is sharing her experience on Instagram to show people what vaccine side effects could potentially be like.
The reason why I got it is I wanted to get back to real life. And I have friends who are fighting cancer and they can't get their treatments.
Health Canada tracks adverse reactions to COVID vaccines, and the
been
most
lied to.
recent data shows 131 cases like Gibson's. Bell's palsy has been reported in clinical trials for all COVID vaccines approved in Canada, but also in patients who received a placebo or no vaccine. Epidemiologists say there just isn't enough to establish a causal link.
There's always that background rate. So what's the rate at which this may have occurred, unfortunately, anyway? So for example, for Bell's palsy, the rate is about 25 per 100,000. And when I calculate the data here, that rate is less than 1 per 100,000.
Bell's palsy typically resolves itself within 2 to 6 months.
2 to 6 months, he says. Well, that's the least of your worries. Just, I gotta be careful, but what I'm gonna say, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. There's more, and you can go find it. You just have to know where to look. There's, shoot, I meant to look up a word for you guys to look at. If you wanna know more. Let's see, where was that? I'll find it real quick. Don't worry. I won't take long, because I know right where to go to find it. Have a dear friend that sent this to me, and she has to be careful too, what she says. Okay, I'm almost there. You gotta click on like 3 or 4 buttons. Come on. I hate when it does that. It's wanting you to click on Messenger and stuff. Okay. Let me try one more time. There it goes. All right. Almost there. All right, here it is. It is called, starts with an L, Lent viral. Let me type it in the chat room so you can look it up. And you can go to, actually, I could probably give you the link. Let me give you the link. Wow, she's got like 100 links here. Because these are from the government. Here's the fact sheet. So you can kind of see a little bit about it. But there's like this will get you started. Okay, so this is Stanford. Let's see. Copy link. Okay, this is from Stanford. So this is a very good place to go. And the name of it is shoot. It's on the other screen. Well, that'll get you there. Starts with an L. Lentivirus. 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 Pretty much you got AIDS. You know what that spells. So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you might want to, like, I have a question about it that I want to ask her whenever I get a chance, to see if it's the, gosh, I can't even tell you here. Like, everything I have to say, it's like, it's just questions, but I'm not allowed to say it. I don't know who Dr. Rebecca Carley is. What'd you miss? Well, you see the pictures up there? Okay, I got those. Let's see. Down to about right here. That's what you missed. I have to do this pretty fast because I got a Bible study tonight. All right. So Dubai is trying to make their place green. I guess they're pulling up the atmospheric river and things like that to try to get the desert to bloom. Okay, Canada, they've paid out $5.7 million in bonuses, but they haven't had any projects. So this is just money that's just been given to people for nothing, for doing nothing. The guy's like, oh, I'll get back to you. Basically, that's what that was. Okay, a driver was killed ramming his car into the gate of the Russian embassy in Bucharest early on Wednesday. Police in the Romanian capital said in a statement. Police said they were investigating and did not release the identity of the driver. So he rammed into the embassy and died. I don't know if there's a picture or anything. I don't see anything. So, that happened. Alright, there was a 5.6 earthquake in Indonesia. And I have an article too about a whole bunch of the Cascadia fault line. It's really popping. Not huge ones or anything, but a ton of them. Small ones. And that's not good, because that can get that whole region, unstable, and you could have a big one pop off. That's what a lot of people are warning about. But, we hear that all the time, but it's kind of like, well, one day it's going to happen. Okay, Ukraine police say 1,200 war crimes have been registered in the Kyiv region. 1,200 war crimes. All right, I love this girl. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Point though.
Listen what she's got to say. Gene delivery vectors, yeah. Stop buffering. Okay, good. You be back. Which tool used to introduce a gene product into vitro systems? Yeah, well, they put it into the you-know-what, didn't they? Okay, King. Okay.
Point, though, where the Democrats are the party of pedophiles. The Democrats are the party of princess predators from Disney. The Democrats are the party...
Princess predators! Oh, that's great. Oh, wait, okay, I'm gonna start over. I won't interrupt, but I gotta laugh.
Point, though, where the Democrats are the party of pedophiles. The Democrats are the party of princess predators from Disney. The Democrats are the party of teachers, elementary school teachers trying to transition their elementary school age children and convince them they're a different gender. This is the party of their identity, and their identity is the most disgusting, evil, horrible things happening in our country. And that's why we have to say it. We have to be willing to say it, and no matter how many little blue check marks get their feelings hurt on Twitter. So, it's worth talking. Point though,
Did she say blue check marks?
to say it, and no matter how many little blue check marks get their feelings hurt on Twitter. So, you know.
What's a blue check mark? Oh. So she's like, you know, say it with me. Say it with me. The princess predators, or the princess pedophiles, or the princess transgenders. Oh, that was really good. Here's a guy trying to knock down the Z sign in Russia. He's gonna get electrocuted. I mean, it's a possibility. He broke it. He sure did. He kind of looks drunk. He looks like he's in his underwear. It's cold out there. He's definitely got some sort of shorts on. Doesn't he? I can't tell. Well, he got it though. Okay, here's Elon Musk. I got you some funny stuff, didn't I? I like having a little fun. Okay, as seen on Weibo, Shanghai residents go to their... This is kind of sad. They go to their balconies and they sing and they protest that they have lack of supplies. A drone appears. Please comply with COVID restrictions. Control your soul's desire for freedom. Do not open the window or sing. That's what the drone is saying. Comply and control your soul's desire for freedom. They don't want you to feel free. They want you to be a slave. Don't open the window or sing. That's what they're saying. See the drone right in here? I want to vomit. I would do it. I would open my window and sing. As soon as the drone was gone, me and my whole neighborhood would be singing a song. Future nuclear engineers and critical infrastructure maintenance specialists. Oh, they took the tweet down. I forget what it was now. They took it down. Oh, it was a fight. They're just beating the crap out of each other, okay? It's like, I just wanted to show, it's like, they're doing it all over the world. I think this was Miami, Florida. Okay, this one says transgender residents in one California city are eligible to receive a universal basic income of up to $900 a month solely for identifying as a transgender or a non-binary. No strings attached. So if you want to sit at home and be a weird, I almost said weirdo, I'll just go ahead and say it, a weirdo, and just sit at home for $900 a month because you're weird, then no strings attached, $900. You get to sit home in your mommy's basement, dress up however you like, boys, girls, boys, be transgender or be gay. I guess that's what non-binary. I don't even know what that is. Non-binary. They keep making stuff up. All right, this is an article that happened, was it yesterday I got on here, about the 13, there was somebody that raped 13 students and impregnated some of them, produced 9 children. So it's a boarding school. I didn't know all of that yesterday. I knew about the 13 students, but I didn't know some of them got pregnant and that the guy had 9 kids out of it. Oh my gosh. All right, I have no idea what Joe Rogan's going to say. So just chill, just sit back and enjoy his chillness.
About censorship. This is what I was saying when people were calling for censor. There were some people that celebrated certain people getting removed from Twitter. Like in the early days, it was like Milo Yiannopoulos, then it was Alex Jones. And I was like, hey man, if you don't see where this is going, do you understand that once they start censoring people for what they believe is something that's objectionable, that obviously the person who said it doesn't think it's objectionable, it's going to keep going further and further, and they're going to keep moving the goalposts. And then eventually it's going to come to you, and you're not going to be left enough. And you might be a really left-wing Democrat like Bill Maher. Like, they're coming for Bill Maher all the time now.
That's
or
true.
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman.
Well, Sarah turned around and said, wait, it's my own party. It's my own party. Well,
it doesn't matter.
Good morning.
It doesn't matter. You are on the censorship train, and there's only so many stops before it gets to your fucking house. And that's how I feel about all this stuff. If you want to say that human beings should be able to express themselves, and we need to do it with in a way that doesn't harass people or dox people, or threaten people, but we have to be able to express ourselves because it's the only way we sort out what's right and what's wrong. I'm with you. But as soon as you start saying, I want to only hear thoughts that I agree with, well, that's not discourse. That's propaganda. You want only your side.
That's right.
To be represented, which is crazy, and that's what's happening on social media. That's what's happening in Twitter. That's what's happening in all these things, and that's the same with everything. That's the same with whether it's anti-racism. That's the same with corporate greed and anti-capitalism. That's the same with when people start like going after stuff. Like when people start deciding that this thing that we've always accepted for so long is no longer acceptable, and now we have to attack it, and we have to attack it by the parameters that I believe are just and right. You go, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's terrorism, because terrorism, the way terrorism works is not, if you do A, I'm going to punish you. The way terrorism works is figure out what you want to do, and I'll figure out if I want to punish you, right? You might say, wait a second, I thought that was permitted. So now you're not going to fucking say anything.
This is the thing.
That's the problem, because they're putting so much pressure on people that want to come out and say what's right and wrong that they just won't say nothing. And then everything from the new mob of, back in the old day with mobs and stuff, like I'm just thinking of New York, and I'm thinking of, movies where they're like, hey, don't you kiss a boy, you boy. Don't you do that. Don't be a sissy. Or they would say something like, don't be a prissy little boy, or, man up, or something like, stuff like that. And it was that way, where you're pointing out, because what you need to do is, if there's something that offends you, because like I said earlier, like a transgender's weird. Why is it weird? Well, let's talk about it. Why is it weird for a boy to wear pink makeup and pink lipstick and put on pink high heels? Because he's a boy. I mean, it's pretty basic and simple, but you just don't do those things. That's just like back in the early America, you had laws that were based on the Bible. That's where the laws pretty much came from, is the Bible, because the Bible can tell you what's right and what's wrong. And if you think if you think the Bible's wrong and you want to be weird, don't be thinking like that people aren't going to call you weird, or that it's wrong. if someone says it's wrong, you're just going to have to get a hard skin and say, well, I'm right, until the day you finally figure it out that you're wrong, because there's consequences to sin. That's just how it is. Any sin. And I'm not just trying to be hard on the transgender or the, gay people or anything. I'm not trying to be hard on them. They're sinning, and they're sinning just like everybody else. Maybe not just like everybody else, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so let's move on from that. The Australian Department of Health can't define what a woman is.
Well, I'm going to finish up then.
So we had this the other day with the Supreme Court lady. Now this is in, I think, Australia.
Well, I'm going to finish up then, because this hasn't been very helpful, with a very simple question for the department, and that is one which has troubled me for a great deal of time with the bureaucracy here. Can someone please provide me with a definition of what a woman is? Department of Health. Definition of a man, definition of a woman. Anyone?
It's pretty basic.
Basic stuff. Professor Murphy.
He should say, like the other guy, was it a couple of days ago, 2X chromosomes and a tallywhacker.
I think there are a variety of definitions, and I think
just a simple
perhaps to give a more fulsome answer, we should take that on notice.
You're going to take on notice the question of what a woman is.
No, well, there are a variety. It's a very contested space at the moment, Senator.
It's not just a woman who's born a woman.
But there are definitions in terms of how people identify themselves. So we're happy to provide our working definition.
One of the.
Our
I've only been here 2 years. That's the best thing I've seen.
Our working definition.
Thus far.
Oh my gosh.
I've only been here 2 years. That's the best thing I've seen thus far. Thank you so much.
Yeah, keep pointing it out. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, let's hear what this guy. Here's a preacher telling you, hey, soloquist. Good to see you. So sick of all this. I know, right? Sorry, not sorry. They didn't like to retain God in their knowledge. God gave them over to a reprobate mind. That's true. To do those things which are not convenient. I don't blame the people. I blame the system that created them. They got a lot of answering to do, don't they? I mean, if you can't come right out and say what a woman is, there's something wrong.
There's a movement in this country that is demonic and that is full of the spirit of Antichrist. It is the transgender movement. It's time for grown-ups and time for Christians to start standing up and being unafraid to tell the truth. Come after me if you want to. I don't care. You want my head? Here it is right here. Come on, come get it. I don't care, because it's time for us to stand up. Now, I'm not afraid to stand up and tell the truth about that issue. They're dragging our kids down into the pit of hell, trying to teach them that mess in our schools. Tell you like this, that ain't got no place at no school. 2 plus 2 don't equal transgender. It equals 4. We need to get back to teaching them how to read instead of teaching them how to go to hell.
Wasn't that great? That's what we need. We need more of that. A lot more of that.
Going forward.
All right, Secretary Austin, the fact that you're embarrassed by your country, I'm sorry for that. I'm embarrassed by your leadership. I'm not embarrassed for my country. It's disgraceful that you would sit here and conflate your failures with those of uniformed service members. I'm so glad people are standing up and saying the truth. Don't that make you just feel great?
Not if we continue down this path.
To do that.
Not if we embrace socialism.
The fact that you're embarrassed by your country.
No. I'm embarrassed by your leadership. I am not embarrassed for my country. I wish we were not losing to China.
It's
I
what
wish
you're
we
saying.
were. You know what? That is so. That is so disgraceful that you would sit here and conflate your failures with the failures of the uniformed service members. You guys said that that Russia would overrun Ukraine in 36 days. You said that the Taliban would be kept at bay for months. You totally blew those calls. And maybe we would be better at them if the National Defense University actually worked a little more on strategy and a little less on wokeism.
Has it occurred to you that Russia has not overrun Ukraine because of what we've done and our allies have done?
But that was baked into your flawed assessment. That was baked into your flawed assessment. And so I saw that the Obama administration tried to destroy our military by starving it of resources, and it seems the Biden administration is trying to destroy our military by force-feeding it wokeism. I yield back.
I like this Mr. Gatz, or whatever. He seems to really be pushing to get the truth in there. It's just, wow. There's so much to reveal. Why isn't there more of them revealing it? They're scared. They're little scaredy cats. They're scared. Alright, a man kills his wife with an SUV at Salt Lake City Airport. Cops say a man is accused of running her over and killing his wife at the airport after they returned from a vacation. You're supposed to go on vacation and let go of some steam and get along. You know, like by the time the vacation's over, you should be like, you know, like, oh, I feel so much better. But not those two. He ran her over. Killed her. I guess that was some vacation. Alright, Meghalaya. Heavy rainfall on Monday. At least 2 people were killed in Maulat area in Makanru block of East Kazi Hills district in a massive landslide caused by the rains. 2 people died. Let's see. Is that all we get? Just one picture? Alright, fine. It's probably just, you know, a place they don't have a lot of cameras. Well, I don't know. Here was another one that was 2 died. This is probably the same place. Yeah, this is the same place. Look at that. That is some massive rocks. No video still. Alright, so a landslide occurred at the village. I'm not going to read that name again. And 2 persons lost their lives during the incident when they were passing through the area where the landslide occurred. Their names were Rohit Kishiyar, 14 years old, and Maulat Village, and Diliban Tangsang, 35 years old. So, these heavy rains are going to just, you know, destroy a lot of stuff. Alright, time to boycott Goodyear. They're banning Blue Lives Matter. That's the police. And they're allowing Black Lives Matter. Also, MAGA attire. Make America Great. Alright, wild video. NOPD urges residents not to take matters into their own hands after video shows a man who rigged a flashbang in a guy's car. So the owner of this vehicle, he rigged a flashbang grenade in his truck, knowing that they would come to try to steal his stuff. Watch. Did you see it? Here, watch. Did you see it? That's funny. In a way, it's funny. In another way, I mean, he could be hurt. But hey, that's what you get. That's what you get. Wonder if you'll do that again. Well, bang. Bang. Did you see his feet go flying? Oh, that was great. All right, police in California arrested a 27-year-old man in connection with the shooting in Sacramento that left 6 people dead over the weekend. So they got him, the 27-year-old man.
Police in California have arrested a 27-year-old man in connection with the shooting in Sacramento that left 6 people dead days ago. Smiley Martin was arrested on Tuesday for illegal possession of a firearm and possession of a machine gun, and had been seriously wounded in the incident. Police say Smiley is the brother of Dandre Martin, who made a brief appearance in court Tuesday. Dandre had been taken into custody on Sunday as a related suspect in the case. He was also booked on suspicion of assault and illegal possession of a firearm. Police did not elaborate on the men's alleged roles in the shooting, and it was not clear if additional suspects remained at large. However, Dandre's lawyer, Linda Parisi, said the shooting has shocked the community.
You know, it is always a tragedy to a community when there is this kind of event, this sort of kind of event that really affects a community.
The gunfire erupted at about 2 a.m. on Sunday near the Golden One Center, home of NBA team the Sacramento Kings. The city's police chief, Kathy Lester, has said that multiple shooters were involved in the massacre. Police believe the shooting followed an altercation at a nearby nightclub, and on Tuesday asked for the public's help in obtaining videos that had been posted on social media.
Yeah, so at this point, I mean, we've had less than 3 days. We've served 3 residential search warrants. We've made 3 arrests, and we've seized 3 firearms. So we're well into the investigation, but we're far from finished. And like I said, our focus right now is finding every single fact available to us, locating every piece of evidence, and then gleaning whatever information we can from that evidence to determine exactly what happened and get justice for these victims.
Of the 12 victims who survived, police said they were suffering from gunshot wounds ranging from minor to critical, but stable. In a statement on Sunday, President Joe Biden said the United States was once again mourning a community hurt by gun violence, and he called on Congress to pass stricter gun legislation.
They're racking up all these stories and everything, trying to find a way to take our firearms, our Second Amendment. All right, the Pope did a photo op with masked children, kissed in a Ukrainian flag, and called the UN impotent.
Questa bandiera
The flag comes from the war.
viene dalla guerra. Proprio da quella
From the martyred city
città
Bucha.
martoriata Bucha.
There are also some Ukrainian
E
children
anche
here.
ci sono qui alcuni bambini ucraini.
Do you see what's behind him? Do you know what that is? That's that big ugly statue thing. It looks like hell. Accompany us. Let us greet them and pray with them. He brought the children in there in front of that ugly demonic
Salutiamoli
thing.
e preghiamo insieme con loro.
Here's the kids. But they're being real careful not to show it now, aren't they? Look, there's just a little bit right in here.
Questi bambini
These children had to flee in order to arrive in a safe land.
sono dovuti fuggire e arrivare a una terra strana.
This is
Questo è uno
the
dei
fruit
frutti della
of war.
guerra.
Let's not forget them, and let's not forget the Ukrainian people.
Non dimentichiamoli e non dimentichiamo il popolo ucraino.
Dog's barking. All right, let me see if this one's translated.
Who were killed by their own radicals.
Okay, it is. I'll play that one. All right, listen to this one. I'm going to go get my dog.
Blatant criminally staged events with the Ukrainian civilians who were killed by their own radicals in the best traditions of Goebbels to accuse the Russian army. Those killed in the areas from which the Russian forces withdrew after encouraging peace negotiations in Istanbul. So now it turns out that we shouldn't have withdrawn. I'm talking about Bucha first and foremost. I understand that You were shown, you saw corpses and heard testimonials, but you only saw what they showed you. You couldn't ignore the flagrant inconsistencies in the version of events which are being promoted by Ukrainian and Western media. The fact that the corpses were not there right after the withdrawal of the Russian forces, which is confirmed by several videos, and the fact that there are recordings where Ukrainian radicals urged shooting at those with white armbands, in other words, against civilians. If you saw the video very carefully that was shown today, you'll see that those people who are on the ground have white armbands. These are civilians. And the fact that the corpses on the video in no way resemble those that could have been lying on the street for 3 or 4 days. And based on the sensational and completely scientifically absurd information of the New York Times, they were there since the 20th of March. So the only ones who could fall for this fake are absolute dilettantes or our Western partners who don't want to hear anything and have been calling black white and vice versa for a long time now. Unfortunately, these countries don't give a hoot about Ukraine itself. It's simply a pawn in the geopolitical game against Russia, which they will sacrifice easily. But in the meantime, they will try to prolong the conflict by delivering as much weapons as possible and ammunition. But the most important thing is that how have we sunk to such depths of cruelty that nationalists are displaying, for example, those from the Azov battalion? And
Okay, so Russia's got their side, and then everybody else has the other side. 2 Russian soldiers killed, 28 in the hospital after being poisoned by Ukrainian civilians. So you got, Ukrainians are poisoning the Russians, giving them food, but giving them tainted food that they know will kill them or make them really bad sick. All right, I'm going to read just I just went to a page here just for a little intermission. Okay. So it says, "The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not." Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in there, and then I wanted to show you something. Have you ever seen these little things right here? It's like a little hockey puck looking thing. Little miniature hockey puck. It's got a little hole right there. Anybody know what that's for? I bet you do. But for those who don't, you set that in water and it becomes bigger hockey puck. And you put your seed right down in there. Now you want to wait until it's all, I didn't put enough water yet. You want to wait till it's all ready to go. So it'll be like this big, like twice what it is now. And then you stick your finger in the hole. Just, make a little room in there. And then you put your seed down in there. And you make sure that you put the dirt over top of it. Just like, make sure it's covered up. And you keep these little puppies wet. And, the roots will go in there. And then the thing will come out. And you just plant this whole thing in the ground. It's like a little net. It's a little net over it. And I planted some cucumbers today. It's a little early, but I just want to see. I just want to see if it works. And I'm doing all the things like that, like the watermelon, the cantaloupe, squash, any kind of squash. I'm doing zucchini. And I got some yellow zucchini. I'm going to try that. And a pumpkin. Last year I grew 2 pumpkins. The year before that I grew 1 pumpkin. So this year I might try for 3 pumpkins. They were big too, like, this size, about that big. And they were for making pies. They're called Howden. So I just thought I'd teach you a little thing about that. And then you got to put them under light if you're going to start them in the house. You know, you got to have a grow light. So my tallest tomato is now this tall. Pretty cool. So I'll be transplanting them into a bigger container, and then there's one more night. It's supposed to get super cold, down to 31. So after that, then I'll move them outside and like put the thing on top of the bucket or the container, and it'll hold the plastic, and I'll keep that under the plastic like a greenhouse, but you can just use a big piece of plastic. I did it last year. Worked really good. And then when it's no longer 50 degrees, then you can plant them in the garden. Just a little tidbit there. You probably don't want to know anything about gardening. Some people don't. All right, here's a tornado. Everybody should, though.
Blatant criminally staged events with the Ukrainian civilians who were killed by their own radicals in the best.
Wait. I don't know why it did that. All right, check out this tornado. Pretty amazing, huh?
That is wicked. Look
That
at that.
close.
Clear over there. Look at it.
You can tell too. It's really picking up some debris.
I have never in my life seen a tornado.
It's way up here. The debris is. Dude, you're pretty close. You should be a little freaked out.
Of Gebo.
Okay. Wait, I want to see if there's more, because I have more tornadoes. That's not it. I got more tornadoes. Here they are. Okay, let's do all the tornadoes. This guy, he's crazy. We're standing out there like this. Watch this one. See all the
That is
debris?
not good.
It's not good.
Not good. It's all over, bull. Look at that.
A little too close for comfort.
Falling down.
Do you see the trees? Watch over on the left.
Falling down.
Look at this. Look like. Did you see it? Man, I wish you kind of got it better. Look at that. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me make it big one more time.
Falling down.
Watch. Look at that. Oh. Oh my gosh. There goes the roof. Oh. He's crazy.
That is not good.
Okay, that was the one we just watched. One. Okay, here's one more. These people are crazy. I want to do it though. I want to do it just once.
Look at this thing go.
A small one, like that one. I wanna be that close to a small one.
Up.
You gotta back up.
Look at this thing.
Man, this makes me want to watch that Twister movie. Cow! Another cow! I think that was the same cow. That wild? Look at that. I love it.
Look at this thing go. Wow. You gotta back up.
I can't stop watching. All right, look at this. Look how powerful that system was. Look at that. Okay, that's what the tornadoes. I don't know what she's grinning about. Okay, we were right here. Republicans warn of biggest migration crisis in the United States history as Joe Biden nixes Title 42. This is so important, you guys. This is probably the most important thing, which I made it the thumbnail, I think. Not this picture, but I made like they're sending the illegals to Washington, D.C. Oh, all right. After the Biden administration announced it will end Title 42 policy, it helps border officials regulate the inflow of unprecedented levels of illegal immigration, a move expected to bring an even larger wave of migrants to the United States border. Republicans accuse the president of destroying the country with a full-scale invasion, warning of an impending migration crisis, the likes of which has never been seen before. Randall Taylor, where are you, buddy? I know you had 6 strokes and it probably was some sort of weapon or something, but we need you. We need God to heal your brain so you can come back and tell us what they're saying in Spanish and, cover this crisis, that's coming. Now, there is a guy named Anthony Aguario or something like that. He's really good, too. He speaks both Spanish and English, and he was covering the convoy a couple of days ago. So I left him a little message saying, I hope you're getting back down there to the border next month, because these people are coming. Some people are calling for Biden to be impeached. Title 42, a public health provision that serves as an essential tool in combating the spread of COVID-19 and controlling the influx of migrants at the southern border, was invoked by the Trump administration at the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, allowing for the expedited removal of those illegally crossing at the border. So, I guess, I don't know for sure what this Title 42 is, but it says it allows federal immigration officials to quickly return border crossers and illegal aliens to their native countries. Oh, that's what it did. So they would put them on a bus, or put them on a train, or put them on an airplane and send them back, to the closest country where they came in from, or something like that. I don't know what it's all about, but this is getting ready. This chaos, it says this chaos is intentional. I didn't mean to go there, but there is no longer any other conclusion. It's going to make the unprecedented crisis even worse. We're in trouble. These people are coming. This is an invasion, you guys. We've been getting invaded, but this is going to be worse than any other thing ever since forever. So, border agents feel overwhelmed and abandoned. They made one thing clear. President Biden, Vice President Harris have neglected their most basic responsibilities of protecting our country's sovereignty. I'm not sure what this one is.
Defund that sector and the Border Patrol.
Oh, it's 20 minutes is what that is. So this is Kevin McCarthy, and he's probably just laying it all out for everyone, how bad it is. I probably need to go watch this at some point. So this is an article on Breitbart. Okay, and I have a few more that are for the border. Let me find those. This one. 10 seconds.
Is there a place in D.C. that you all are planning to send these migrants to? Is there a designated area you guys
There's a place you are planning to send these migrants to.
have in this plan?
The first location will be the steps of the United States Capitol.
The steps of the United States Capitol, he says. Here he's going to say it again in a minute, 20 seconds. A little bit longer version.
Crossing the border from Mexico into Texas. And at this time, I'm going to sign my directive to Colonel McCraw, the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety.
Colonel McCraw.
To get that project underway immediately for the zero tolerance and the inspections that will be taking place. Second, to help local officials whose communities are being overwhelmed by hordes of illegal immigrants who are being dropped off by the Biden administration. Texas is providing charter buses to send these illegal immigrants who have been dropped off by the Biden administration to Washington, D.C. We are sending them to the United States Capitol, where the Biden administration will be able to more immediately address the needs of the people that they are allowing to come across our border. To get that going, I'm going to send a letter to Chief Nimkid with the Texas Division of Emergency Management, who will be in charge of this operation.
Chief Nimcare?
Together, and to recap on these, what Colonel McCraw is charged to do is...
Colonel McCraw and Chief Nimcare. Oh, man. You can't make this stuff up, can you? I mean, I know I'm saying a common thing there, but... Man.
In this letter, I say that I hereby direct the Texas Department of Public Safety to...
They're all in on it together. Don't think that they're not. They're all doing this as like a joke on America. They've sold us out. If they really wanted to fix the border, they would have fixed the border a long time ago. They get drug money. They get the drugs. You know, the cartels pay them off, or they pay the cartels off, or whatever their scandalous thing is. They're human trafficking people, and this is not you know, this isn't a mistake. This isn't like, oh, it's their fault. No, it's their fault. It's all their faults. And see, you can't hide anything from God. So I hope you guys are ready for Judgment Day, because it's almost here. I think that was the only other one I had from the border. Okay, let me go back down here. It's amazing how I can still try to keep up with this. Okay. I've never seen so many bodies piled up together. Hong Kong funeral services get overwhelmed by COVID. I'm not sure what they're doing with these papers or whatever inside the coffin. It's got something to do with some sort of, you know, ritual they do with the dead or something.
In the mortuaries and funeral parlors of Hong Kong, the remains of COVID-19 victims have piled up faster than the staff can manage. Public mortuaries have had to find ways to triple their space for bodies, borrowing facilities from a nursing home and charities, while the number of available coffins is running low, and hygiene officials say their crematoriums are running around the clock. They are all...
Oh, you know what it might be? Those might be like their death certificates, or the like something that they give at the funeral home, or something of how they died, and they're just putting, like, they cremated them and then they're putting all of them in one casket or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but
all grim signs of the city's battle with the fifth wave of the virus. The extensive backlog of
pretty
paperwork
casket,
for the victims
isn't it?
has also forced some bereaved relatives to endure long waits to collect patients' bodies. A 36-year-old Kate told Reuters she wasn't able to see her father-in-law before he passed away.
When the doctors and nurses thought my father-in-law's situation was not okay, we rushed to the hospital, but it was already too late.
That's not right.
Since he was in the isolation ward, we couldn't see him for the last time.
To add to this, outbreaks nearby are making it hard to even pay respects. Hong Kong is dependent on mainland China for nearly all of its coffins, as well as paper offerings used at traditional Chinese funerals. But a surge in cases across the border in Shenzhen has delayed the delivery of many supplies. Lok Chung, a funeral director in Hong Kong, saw 40 funerals in March, up from the 15 he sees in a normal month.
That's probably the worst situation that I've ever seen in my professional career. I've never seen so many bodies that they have been piled up together. I've never seen the family members being so upset, so disappointed.
Since Hong Kong's fifth wave began earlier this year, more than 1 million COVID-19 cases and over 8,000 deaths due to the disease have been reported.
Haven't they made them take the shots like crazy? Like super, like they've all had the shots, like all of them? Like probably 95% or something, and there's that many people dying? You know it's not working then, right? Or is it? Just a question. Let me see what you guys are saying. I got added vertical planter for this year. You did? You got a vertical planter? Oh, that's awesome, Sputsy. I'll have to show you a picture of mine. I just call it a tower. It's got like levels. So there's one that's got like 5 or 6, then 6 or 7, 7 or 8, 8 or 9, and there's little pockets around that, and then I bought the wheel thing so it can be rolled around on the porch. I love it, and it did good. It's still got like a thing of kale in there. I don't really like kale, but still got a thing of kale in there. It's still doing good. I was getting ready to take it all apart and then re-amend the soil. So put some like worms. Like they sell this stuff that you can buy. It's from worms. Yeah. Or you can use fish fertilizer. It's poo. It's fish poo. And it comes in like a jug. And then you put that in your bucket with the water and you mix it up like spoon. Stir the poo in the water. And it's about a 5%, like 555 on the fertilizer scale. So yeah, I can't wait to get that going. I've got some coriander seed, which is cilantro. So if it's the leafy herb, it's like parsley, but it's Chinese parsley or whatever. It's like they use it in hot stuff. Like I put it in my salsa, and it takes care of like heavy metals. It's a detoxifier. Cilantro, it's real good. And some spinach. I love spinach now. I used to hate spinach. Now I love it. I've got a whole tray of it. I hope it does good. This will be the first time my spinach would do good. Fish fertilizer stinks. I know, right? So does chicken poo. Chicken poo's like the best thing, though. You did herbs last year? I know, right? I love doing the herbs. I've got these little purple pots out there. They're just like that big. And I like laying them like across the top of the porch. And then I've got a couple of the hanging baskets. And I've got some flowers. They're over there. They're like dwarf ones so that they're small because I don't want like plants growing like super tall in the hanging basket. So I bought some dwarf kind of seeds. I need to get those going too. Everything's like all at once, isn't it? Plant and everything. But I've got so many tomato plants. My my little greenhouse is pretty full. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I hope it works out because I love the Roma tomatoes, and then I've got green peppers, and then a whole bunch of jalapeno peppers. I hope those all turn out good. So, and then I did some cayenne peppers, the ones that you put on pizza, the little like crushed peppers. Crushed peppers. Those are cayenne peppers. But you can just keep getting a bunch of these from when you get pizza and save them. But yeah, it's good to have spices and herbs and stuff. But what you really want is something that you can get a lot of, vitamins out of and all that. So find out what grows good near you and do something, because we got to learn how to do this stuff or we're going to be in trouble. Okay, so where was I? Right here. Breaking: the U.S. is sanctioning Vladimir Putin's 2 daughters, his 2 adult daughters. A senior Biden administration official confirmed that. The latest move is in response to the apparent mass killing of civilians in Ukraine's Bucha. This is a minute and
things that has been
27 seconds.
2 adult daughters and toughened penalties on Russia's banks in retaliation for, quote, war crimes in Ukraine. This is coming from the release just moments ago. And Sberbank seems to be the bank they've listed that is facing more escalated sanctions, one of the biggest banks in Russia. It's not Gazprom Bank at the moment from the EU side of things. That has been sanctioned already by the US and the UK. And you'll remember earlier this week in that debate about whether gas and oil payments would come in rubles or foreign currency, that Gazprom Bank was sort of providing a way around that for some people. But that doesn't seem to be listed here. Sberbank, as I said, and also Russia's largest private bank, Alfa
See
Bank.
that? How they're doing their feet like that? That's what I saw in my dream when we got invaded. But, I mean, I think the Chinese do it too. But the feet were doing that right there. And the arms were going too. You know?
Is being highlighted in this latest release, as is saying a line saying prohibiting new investment in the Russian Federation. That's
I wish we could hone in on when we're dreaming and be like, look at the patch on the arm, or get the color of the jackets and the hats, or you know what I mean?
sounds like quite a broad target, and we'll have to get some more details on exactly what that means going forward. But some more sanctions there coming from the US, G7 and the EU, and the headline being Sberbank and also Vladimir Putin's 2 adult daughters facing toughened penalties.
I saw them walking over there. They weren't really doing it over there, but those 2 guys were definitely doing it. It's freaking me out. Okay, there was a Boeing 777. They're saying that was hacked by Russia, a cybersecurity expert tells us. Yesterday's pilots of Air France reported their Boeing 777 didn't react to commands on the final approach to Paris and was about to crash, killing hundreds of passengers. This was yesterday. I got one on here of that plane. I think it's that plane. Could be a different plane. A lot of planes, huh? Going down. A lot of planes. There it is. It didn't really crash, though. I saw another one. Hold on, there's another one up here. There's another one up here. You'll see it. You'll see it happen. Okay, it's 18 seconds. Watch. I don't know what the problem was, but it did something and then it broke right at the tail. As you can see on this one, the tail's broke right there. See? And there's people inside there. That goes all the way back. So whoever's sitting right there is probably crapping their britches. Okay, let me see where I was. See what else. Okay, got that one. Here we go.
Thank you, Jen. First on immigration.
The sake.
Thank you, Jen. First.
Sake. Peppermint patty. Sake.
Thank you, Jen. First on immigration. Our team in Texas is saying that you guys are starting to give smartphones
the dog
to border
snoring.
crossers, hoping that they'll use the phones to check in or to be tracked. Which part of that is supposed to deter people from crossing illegally into the States?
Well, I think you, of all people, since you've asked me a range of questions on this topic over time, would recognize that we need to take steps to ensure that we know where individuals are and we can track and we can check in with them. The Alternatives to Detention program is what we utilize, has 3 unique forms of technology to monitor participants enrolled in the program. Telephonic, this is one of them, which uses a participant's voice to create a biometric voice print during the enrollment process. And when the participant has a check-in call, their voice is compared to the voice print. Smart Link, which is another option, enables participant monitoring via smartphone or tablet using facial matching technology to establish identity. And Global Positioning System monitoring is of a participant's location and movement history using satellite technology through an ankle bracelet. This is all part of our effort as individuals come into the United States and individuals who are entering who will proceed to immigration proceedings to monitor and track where they are.
With the telephonic, though, any concern by folks around here that these migrants will take the phones and just toss them? And then,
do you have a record of people throwing phones away?
I'm just asking if that's a concern.
Our concern is ensuring that individuals who irregularly migrate to the United States proceed through our process of, of course, being monitored, but also participating in hearings to determine whether or not they will be able to stay. I would note that nearly 80% of non-citizens released at the border from DHS custody under prosecutorial discretion have either received a notice to appear or are still within their window to report. So actually, the vast majority of people are appearing. In part, we have these monitoring systems in order to do that effectively.
Okay. On another topic, was it common for President Biden to do favors for Hunter Biden's international business partners, like writing college recommendations for their kids?
I've seen the report. I have no confirmation or comment on a report about whether or not the president, when he was a private citizen, wrote a college recommendation letter for an individual.
A college recommendation letter, though, from, at the time, a former vice president would be a big deal. So do we know what the president might have gotten in return for doing a favor like that?
Again, I have no confirmation of any recommendation letter the president wrote when he was a private citizen, by the way, not serving in public office. That's even the report.
But he's the president now, and you're his spokesperson.
Correct. And he was not the president at the time of this report.
So there's evidence that the president at one point was office mates with Hunter and his brother Jim here in D.C.
It's not accurate.
That is not accurate. So when Hunter Biden is emailing a landlord, please have keys made available for new office mates, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, Jim Biden, that you're disputing.
They were not office mates, no.
They were not office mates. Okay.
Great. Go ahead.
Well, what were they? I mean, semantics. Let's just, that they play these word games. It makes me ill. Ugh. They're just trying to like weasel out of what they're doing here. So basically what's next is not just, well, we want your biometric data for these illegals. What's next is going to be a chip in the hand. I mean, they're saying they got the ankle bracelets, but those people are getting those ankle bracelets off, and there is record of that one. So she can say, do you have a record of the phones? Well, maybe they're just now trying that one out, giving everybody a smartphone and to try to track them that way. But the ankle bracelets, that's been done, and they're definitely taking those things off as soon as they get in where they're going. So they're playing games. Okay, the European Commission has announced it is stockpiling equipment and medicines in preparation for a chemical or nuclear attack. And it's building a 540 million emergency stockpile of equipment, whatever that is, and medicines. Also, vaccines and other therapeutics to treat nuclear-related diseases. They're expecting Poland to get hit by a nuke. Belarus, this bullseye right here. They're expecting it. So we ought to get our head wrapped around it. What's going on? Alright, here's some, whistleblower who distributed Hunter Biden's laptop to congressmen and media has fled the U.S. to Switzerland. Claims he has recovered 450 gigabytes and deleted material. So he's got the goods on this guy. Hunter Biden, the crack pipe, king, pulling the hair of the girl and all of that. All right, here's this guy. This guy kind of gets on my nerves a little bit, but it's just kind of funny. And, keep going, buddy. Do it till they stop you.
More problems that I have noticed in the NFL is that the NFL stands for the National Football League, and Adolf Hitler was a nationalist. Therefore, it needs to be changed to the Equality Football League, which leads me to a list of things we can do to make the NFL a better place. First, women players and coaches. Chinese quarterbacks, an LGBTQ section in the stands, a Michael Sam Gay Player of the Year award, signing bonuses for openly gay players, for the people in the back, mandatory vaccine cards for all, critical race theory training for all players and coaches so they can understand the white rage. I am white and I want to know what white rage is. I want to know. Mandatory knee while playing the national anthem. For George Floyd, abolish the national anthem because it's racist. A moment of silence for Martin Luther King before each game, recognizing him for freeing the slaves. Instead of honoring the military because they're racist before each game, we should have our frontline doctors come out to the field because they are the real heroes. Every game, the player should honor one LGBTQ member with a sticker on the back of their helmet, gender-neutral locker rooms, black kickers, alternate gay pride uniforms, pronouns on the back of their jerseys. The Super Bowl trophy will be changed from the Vince Lombardi trophy to the Colin Kaepernick trophy. And lastly, the commissioner shall be a non-binary transgender so that they can understand all walks of life. If we all do these things, we can make the league more diverse and full of equality instead of this racist bigotry league full of Trumpism.
Your time is up. Reggie Ruffin.
Okay,
your time
thank
is
you.
Up.
They're still allowing it. Alex. Yep. Spudsy. Alex Stein. I like him better, even though it's like still kind of weird, but I don't know. At least they're doing it. Alright, so here's the one about the slow slip. Look at all these. This is in a 1 week period. It says you can't feel it, but the ground far beneath our feet on south central Vancouver Island has been moving. Seismologists have been recording thousands of episodic tremor and slip events occurring at a rapid rate since March 20th, moving in a southeasterly direction down the island. More than 4,200 tiny tremors have been recorded so far, between 25 and 40 kilometers below the surface, said John Cassidy, an earthquake seismologist with Natural Resource Canada and a professor at the University of Victoria. So it's slipping, guys. The Cascadia fault line is slipping. Look where it is. This one and this one. You know, there's Oregon. Here's like Northern California, I think. Look at this one. Here's a bunch of different ones, 2.5s and above, all in a week. It's got tons of these earthquakes just happening all over the place. In California, in Oregon, and Washington, and Vancouver, Canada. So this could, you know, cause another big one. Just a heads up. And then over here in Idaho, or, you know, at the Yellowstone, they had a 3 point something. I think it might have been 3.0. This is Alex Jones's Caitlin Bennett. Not his daughter or anything, but she's on that show. She used to be on the show. I don't know if she still is. She's the one with the gun. She's got some beautiful pictures of her with her being pregnant and everything. And she just had her baby. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, though. Doesn't say. All right. Huge. So congratulations to Caitlin Bennett. She kind of looks like my niece. Huge fire burns in Johnson County as tornado approaches. So you got a fire and a tornado coming in Johnson County, Texas. Isn't that wild? Let's watch.
Johnson County fire alarm. Go ahead and show tanker 26 on. All units on the fire ground. All units on the fire ground. We have a very large tornado in between Lily and Alvarado on the ground with large debris signature. All units on the fire ground. We do have a large tornado. Try to take shelter immediately. Just made an announcement as we come down the street for all the civilians to seek shelter. Tornado on the ground.
God, back up.
Retreat to your unit.
Incident issue, I have all my guys.
Yes, sir.
It's a big fire, isn't it? Wow. I was trying to see if there was any sort of, you know, thing in the clouds. Like a demon face or something. Got a tornado and a fire. Wow. Okay, let's not go too far on there. Okay. 2 killed as damaging storms strike the south. This was in Georgia. We watched some of the tornadoes. This woman captures a chilling moment with lightning strikes on her porch. I don't know if there's a video for it. A woman captured the heart-stopping moment. Well, that doesn't look like it. Craziest moments caught on Ring doorbell cameras. That's not what I asked for. A hot air balloon. Well, it's kind of cool, though. Let's watch it. It's supposed to be caught lightning, but we'll see. Alligator. A bear. Look at that. Going for a swim. Uh-oh. That was cool, but it wasn't any lightning strike. They're doing something. Here it is. Jeez. Oh, did you see that? Let's watch it one more time. Oh man. Let me see. Let me read your comments. Hi, Chris. I'm just now noticing you're in there. Good to see you. You haven't seen Mark Dice in years? Oh, I saw him the other day. I put him on here. It might have been after Chris or somebody said, do you like Mark Dice? It was like the next day I had something from him. I get organic. After their cook. I remember him doing the Fukushima bottled water. There is an island with thousands of quakes just off northwest Africa. Oh, wow. Lots of quakes. Northwest Africa, huh? An island. Yeah, the gun girl, Caitlin Bennett. She, I think she graduated and then she like came on the campus or something, and it was the right to bear arms. And so she felt like it was her right to bear arms. So she would carry around like a AK-47. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And then she started working for Alex Jones, and she was like being a reporter for him, and she'd go to different campuses and talk to people about, you know, the Second Amendment and other things, and she did a really good job. But she was pretty spunky. She's pretty fired up. Like, she kind of got to people. Yeah, the tornadoes are just year-round now. And the cold weather just isn't like wanting to give up. Oh, wow, Chris. Did you see my video that I had today? Right before I did this one, I uploaded it. We were driving down the road and it was way backed up on our side. And then we were like, oh, maybe there's an accident. And then we get up to it, and it was actually like they would stopped for the accident and everything. It was kind of in the middle of the median, but the accident had actually started on the other side. So from that point on, then the other side was backed up just for miles, but there was a car flipped upside down. That was today. It just happened earlier on our way back home. I've seen that happen twice. Not like in live motion, but like coming up on the accident where the car's flipped upside down. Hope they're okay. Taco pizza. I had pizza tonight too. I sure did. It was good too. Okay, let's see. Where am I at? Wind Energy Company kills 150 eagles in the United States, and they pled guilty because of their, wind turbines. Those things are huge. If you've ever been up next to one, they're ginormous. A wind energy company was sentenced to probation in order to pay more than $8 million in fines and restitution after at least 150 eagles died from their stupid wind turbine things. You're not supposed to even, like if an eagle or a hawk dies and you have a feather in your yard, even if you just found a feather in your yard, it's illegal to have it. I learned that a long time ago. A canyon on fire that's 12,000 miles deep opened up on the sun. So we got a canyon, like a Grand Canyon. It's 12,000 miles deep. Now, is the sun gonna scorch mankind in the Bible? I had to get up so early today. I'm kind of crashing. It's almost time for Bible study. I hope I can get through. Let's see what I got left. There's that guy again. I'm not going to play him. Pelosi's got COVID. The children, don't let them get those VR glasses. Please, please, don't let them get used to this metaverse thing. There's just so many bad things about this. People are getting raped and everything. It's terrible. And, I'm sure that they could, have a lot of fun and learn and all of that, but at what price? If they get addicted to that sort of realness, that reality. Scientists finally have clues about what we see when we die. For the first time, scientists have recorded the brainwaves of a dying person. The recordings indicated that there could be some truth to the statement, "My life flashed before my eyes," when someone has a near-death experience. The findings, which have been published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, are not comprehensive because the patient had also suffered brain injuries, but for the first time ever, we've caught a glimpse of what human brains look like in a dying person. After a fall, 87-year-old male went to emergency room and rapidly deteriorated while hooked up to an EEG machine that captured his brainwaves as he passed from a heart attack. This is not the first time we've seen the brain activity in a dying person. Some patients who've been pulled off life support have simplified EEG recordings taken, though they've been limited to frontal cortex signals. This, however, is the first case of detailed recordings that may be able to shed some light on what we experience when we die. For decades now, people have reported episodes of paradoxical lucidity and heightened consciousness in relation to death. This is intriguing, as this seems to be occurring in the brain areas that are shutting down in relation to death, Dr. Sam said. Although in the past, it had been assumed that these may simply be anecdotes. Population surveys have indicated that this phenomena occurs in around 10% of the population, suggesting that around 800 million people are living with this. The team working with the patient was able to capture about 900 seconds of brain activity and focused most of its analysis on the first 30 seconds before and after the patient's heart stopped beating. Immediately following cardiac arrest, they noticed changes in the brain waves involved in higher order cognitive functions, including information processing, concentration, memory retrieval, conscious perception, and the different stages of dreaming, possibly indicating the brain was actively engaging in memory recall. How about that? What was most intriguing is that this seems to be occurring when the brain is shutting down at the end of life. The study supports these descriptions and certainly raises the possibility that a marker of lucidity at the end of life may have been discovered, says Pernia. This is so interesting to me. Still, the team worked with the patient can't be certain that his life was flashing before his eyes because his health was already in decline at the time of death. He had suffered brain injuries that included bleeding, swelling, and seizures. Additionally, he had been taking anti-seizure drugs, which further complicate what the data looked like as well as the interpretation of the data. Further, the team didn't have healthy scans of the patient's brain to compare against the more recent scans in which the patient was already... Didn't they do a movie where like people, they would like die and then they would bring them back and they would... I don't want to ruin the movie. I can't even remember who was in that. Maybe Nicolas Cage or something. It was a really good movie. Anyway, they're not gonna tell us though, are they? Alpha brain waves are produced when we're alert but calm and help us with activities like learning and coordination. Gamma waves are the fastest and are associated with high-level alertness, cognition, memory, and focus. According to Parna, while the brain is in the process of shutting down and dying, there is disinhibition of parts of the brain, emergence of functions that are ordinarily depressed by our usual brain activity, such as those we use to get through our day-to-day tasks. Because of this, we're granted access to what Parnia refers to as aspects of reality at death that would ordinarily we'd not have access to, including the depths of our consciousness. To learn more about what happens with our brains during death is essentially possible, though, because scientists would need to observe the neural activity of the healthy subjects. We do not anticipate death in healthy subjects, therefore could not obtain recordings in the near-death phase and anything other than the circumstances involving pathological conditions in acute care hospital settings, the paper authors note. The team was able to capture the 87-year-old patient's brainwaves as he died, occurred entirely by happenstance after all. They could test all that stuff if they want to. They don't need to use an 87-year-old man. There's plenty of people doing experimenting on themselves, you know. So, I think they already know. They're just like, we can tell you this, you know. But yeah, when I had my heart, I think it stopped. But when I woke up, it was barely beating. So I think it might have stopped. And I was on a swing. And I think my life was getting ready to be played out before my eyes. And then I was, given a choice. Do you want to go back? Or you can stay. And I said, Mike needs me. So I woke up just like that, and my heart was just boom, 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 boom. And I was like so tired. I was like, I could go right back to sleep right now. But I knew if I did that I probably would go back to the swing and it would be like, you stayed, you made your choice. So I made myself get out of bed. Anyway, let me hurry up and get through these few more. Woman pulled over by a fake cop. So yeah, watch out for those fake cops. Called 911 after noticing a minor detail, Texas police say. It seemed legitimate at first, but the woman quickly grew suspicious. Let's see. She was going well under the speed limit. Thought she might be getting it because of her expired tags. A man stepped out of the SUV wearing a cowboy hat and a gun. No badge number. He did not have a bulletproof vest or a typical police uniform. He didn't quite look the part, and his behavior was similarly mismatched. He asked for my license, my registration. I told him that I wasn't really comfortable. It was kind of just the whole situation seemed off. He seemed kind of frantic. She decided to call 911. They said there was no officers in the area. At that point, the situation escalated. The woman reported the male began screaming at her to get out of the car. When she refused to roll her window down, he finally left after she told him she had called 911. He got back into his SUV and sped away. And they're searching for this guy. If you come across something like that, call 254-582-5313. It was the Hill County Sheriff's Office. Yeah, that's my dog kicking. Midday's Mike. Okay. So, where was I? Yeah, here's Nancy. She's like kissing all over people, and she's got the COVID. She was just diagnosed right after all this. So she just kissed him with the death kiss, the kiss of death. Oh, right in his face. Let's share the COVID with Barack Obama. She probably spits when she talks. Look, they're right up next to each other. He's got the COVID. He's got the COVID. She's got the COVID. He's got the COVID. He's got the COVID. She probably has symptoms too. That guy there, he's got the COVID. These people standing on guard, they probably got the COVID. Isn't that too bad? Miss Pelosi's like giving it all around to everybody, kissing on them. Here's the article. Nancy Pelosi tests positive for COVID. Okay, let's watch this one real quick. Minute 25. Can't play music. I have a couple times, but VR games give us a taste of what it might look like, though it's less clear what changes the metaverse will bring about, especially for its youngest cohort of users. Here are 3 reasons parents should consider. Protecting kids from inappropriate content is going to be more difficult. Video games played on consoles have visible warning labels, but metaverse warnings will only be visible to the person immersed in it, making it harder to ensure children are engaging with suitable content. Children will process the metaverse differently to adults. Studies suggest they could become more deeply immersed in the experience. This poses new questions about how to monitor and regulate their time there. Parents will need to take an active interest in the metaverse too. You can't check over your child's shoulder if they're wearing a VR headset. To keep children's metaverse experiences safe and enjoyable, parents will need to become informed users of it alongside their kids. Like that's going to happen. How do you think the metaverse will change society? I think it's going to be a freaking nightmare, is what I think. All right, we saw that one. Truck crashes into the toll booth. Did you see that? Check this out.
Joining us, I'm Andy Cerullo.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. We do begin here at midday with the crash that closed down a part of the Beltway earlier this morning. A truck slammed into this toll booth on the North Beltway near Antoine. As you can see, it took on a lot of damage from that impact. Thankfully, though, the driver didn't suffer any serious injuries. No one was hurt with any major injuries or anything. Sky 2 was over the scene of that crash as crews worked to clear the area. So far, it's not clear what caused that man to veer into the toll booth. No other vehicles were involved.
Looked like he was scooping up ashes or something, didn't it? All right, this is I did a video on this one. They don't really show much. They show somebody being taken out on the ambulance, but I played all of that. It's just there's not much. All right, let's listen to this guy. This is about the migrants.
Joe Biden has refused to come to the border to see the chaos that he has created by his open border policies. So we're going to take the border to him by transporting the people that he is dropping off in these local communities in the state of Texas and sending them to Washington by plane or by bus. What's happening is there's an increased number of people coming across the border that the federal government, are processing and then letting loose. And what has been happening so far is those people will be getting on buses and going to San Antonio or Houston or other places like that. And so I think they just need longer bus rides. Joe Biden has refused to come to the border to see the chaos that he's created.
Okay. So you might think, haha, that's funny or something, you know. You might think, hey, they're all going to the Capitol. No, they're not. They're going everywhere. They're not just going to the Capitol. All right, remember this guy's name. Harari. Yuval Harari. He is like mocking Christianity, talking about free will, how that's a thing of the past. You ain't gonna have free will anymore. Like, this is crazy. He's an advisor to Obama. He's an advisor to that Klaus Schwab guy. This is the guy, the madman behind the madmen. Yuval Harari. Hackable humans. Warning at WEF is becoming reality. DARPA is researching pre-conscious brain signals to know what someone believes to be true or not. DARPA's NEAT program can help prove Dr. Harari to be prophetic about hackable human beings, leading to better healthcare or worst totalitarian surveillance state in history. This guy is bad.
Just imagine North Korea in 20 years when everybody has to wear a biometric bracelet which constantly monitors your blood pressure, your heart rate, your brain activity, 24 hours a day. You listen to a speech on the radio by the great leader, and they know what you actually feel. You can clap your hands and smile, but if you're angry, they know you'll be in the gulag tomorrow morning. And if we allow the
I put the link in there. This thing's like 45 minutes long. I'm going to save it. Watch later. I want to watch this nutcase. Because I watched him. Look, here's another one. It'll be in that article that I posted there if you want it. Yeah, it is scary. Because they mean business. They want your kids, mostly, you know. They got plans for all of us, but most of us end in death. But then the kids, they'll be around a little bit longer. So they're really just coming after the kids. They fired General Flynn at the request of Barack Obama. Mike Flynn never lied to the American people. That's what this says. It's 47 seconds.
And Flynn was told before he went into that testimony, do not say anything about the fact that ISIS is resurgent. He decided, I'm not going to lie. You know, I need to be very, very honest with the American people.
They are increasingly adapting to an environment that is actually benefiting them. And that, to me, is a increasingly growing threat.
After that, Jim Clapper calls Mike Vickers up, and Clapper tells Vickers, you need to fire Flynn. Clapper had received this instruction directly from Susan Rice at the request of Barack Obama. In any event, they tell him, you're going to have to retire early. We need you to leave the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Something really bad that's been happening in our government. These people are just evil. I feel that all over the place. Yeah, that was the they didn't show anything. It's just a police vehicle. They didn't show any real like terrorism. Well, I mean there was glass broken everywhere and stuff. There was people shot in Jerusalem for a third day in a row. Or not the third day in a row. Well, yeah, wasn't it? The third day in a row. Anyways, 3 attacks that are just recent. That one was in Tel Aviv. And it was like an ongoing situation. It wasn't like... so I was hearing just the beginnings of it. It might be worse than what I know. These are protesters at Walt Disney.
Boycott Disney! 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 Boycott Disney!
Okay, that's all it is. Boycott Disney. Initial reports of shooting attack with multiple injuries in Tel Aviv. There's another one. That's from the same thing. This one too. So this was all 5 hours ago. Alright, and this is the last one. This is Shanghai. And so their people are in lockdown. Okay? Again, this is big time. Lockdown in Shanghai. They don't have food. They don't have water. They showed a little bit of food and water, but it's like they're not getting it. They're losing it, man. That's suffering. You hear that? That, I'm gonna have nightmares from that. They're in trouble. Civil unrest is breaking out in Shanghai, China, as Chinese citizens claim they cannot leave their homes to buy food due to the lockdowns. So they're not giving them food. They're not letting them go shop. See, people are evil. This is just wrong what they're doing. Like all over the world, this is going on. Bad stuff. And yeah, I just pray Jesus comes soon. Just reading some of your comments here. They're giving more access to the Palestinians and they're killing them. Yeah, they're killing Palestinians too. They're taking their homes. You have a link, Chris? I can't see your link. You have to be a mod or whatever. Stick around. Next time I'll try to give you a mod status. I can't do it right now because I'm late right now. I'm like 20 minutes late. No food, no water. Oh. Yeah, it's bad. Sirens in Minnesota? Minnesota's got sirens? What's MN? Soloquist. Alright, let me just bless you in Jesus' name. May the Lord bless you all that came here or that hear this. May the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord give you peace. Because peace can come in your heart and in your mind. A peace that passes understanding through Christ Jesus. Just trust in him with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. That was the verse that just came popping in my head. So just stay in peace, like breathe, just breathe. That's what Jesus said, that we're going to go through birth pains. And with birth pains, you want to breathe. They kind of teach you to go, but don't do that or you might pass out. So just remember to breathe. And like I said the other day, sing a hallelujah. Go in your car all by yourself and just yell it out. Hallelujah! You know, from your belly flows rivers of living water. Link. You want a link to the Israel one? There's like a few of them. Let me get you the good one. This one. Here's a link to the Israel one. That's the Twitter. He does a lot of good ones on Israel stuff. So, suspect terrorist behind the Tel Aviv attack. Oh, look, here's the suspect right here. Here's a picture of the guy that just did that attack. Just plastered your face up, buddy. Oh, you probably give treats. You probably give cookies away for your terrorist attack. Because they get happy when they kill someone. Isn't that sick? Look, they're carrying each other. They're happy about it. I think that's cool. I think that'll give them 72 virgins. No, it'll just get you 72 demons. You know? And hell. Look. This was the manhunt from it. Oh, they're hunting him down, guys. I think they got him. Oh, some people escaped. Check this out. Oh. Some of them got away. It's good. See, and you could just keep praying every day. Keep praying every day. Jesus said to pray without ceasing. So if we just pray, Lord, spoil all the terror attacks, the attempted terror attacks. Here they all are running. I didn't get all this. Because what I had was like, it had just happened or whatever. So I didn't get all this. This was the one I got. So more of them came out. And this was after the attack. Yeah. Well, that was good. Thanks. I'm glad you said asking for the link, K-King. God bless you all. You're very welcome. I like giving people the news. I like telling the truth. Because Jesus is the truth. That's the most important truth right there. So I'll let you guys go. And God bless you all. I love you all.